Hey, watch us virtual darts. I'm trying to play virtual pool.
Number 20. Disney buys Fox. This episode from season 10 aired on November 8th, 1998, long before Disney and Fox considered an acquisition. At the end of the episode, a sign appears that reads 20th Century Fox, a division of Walt Disney Co. According to the episode's writer, Richard Appel, the joke was written out of, quote, a general sense that soon Disney would own us all.
You've got to keep our secret, Homer.
He definitely wasn't wrong when it came to Fox. Nearly 20 years later, on December 14, 2017, Disney announced that it was buying 21st Century Fox for just over $52 billion. And with that, The Simpsons officially became Disney characters. The 2021 Plusiversary short showed just how strange and funny it is to see Springfield residents hang out with Mouse House characters.
Oh, I wish I was your sidekick.
He's mine!
Goofy!
Number 19. Smartwatches. In the episode Lisa's Wedding, we see the titular character prepare for a union in the year 2010. To prove that they're in the future, her fiancé, Hugh Parkfield, speaks into a wrist device that seemingly functions as both a watch and telephone.
Oh, blast! Go to plan B.
Modern audiences would probably think nothing of it today. However, the episode aired in 1995. Smartwatches were still in their infancy then. While similar devices did pop up in mediums like spy movies, the idea that an average citizen would have access to a phone watch was relatively original. It turned out that The Simpsons wasn't far off, because the first smartwatch that functioned as a telephone was introduced in 1999.
Don't worry, honey. I guarantee your father will behave.
Mom, it's a picture phone.
This? Oh, no, I just got a touch of the rheumatiz.
Number 18. Really old fan mail. During Season 2's Brush with Greatness, Beatles drummer Ringo Starr appeared as himself and responded to some very old fan mail.
They took the time to write me, and I don't care if it takes me another 20 years. I'm going to answer every one of them.
This includes finally answering Marge, who had sent him some correspondence all the way back in high school. It turns out that this plot wasn't that unrealistic. While the real-life occurrence didn't involve Ringo Starr, it did bring in Paul McCartney. The legendary musician learned about a tape that was recorded by two fans back in 1963. Sometime after he got it, the BBC helped the older fans get McCartney's written response. Although it took 50 years, they seemed to appreciate him writing back.
Dear Marge, thanks for the fab painting of yours truly. I hung it on me wall. You're quite an artist.
Number 17. Legalized marijuana in Canada. The Simpsons managed to predict the future and take shots at the American healthcare system in one delightful plot.
And that's why I personally thank God we pay too much for drugs. I mean, the right amount.
When Mr. Burns cancels the prescription drug plan, many other companies follow suit. After people realize they can't afford medication, they hoof it over to Canada to get what they need. The journey paves the way for Ned to meet his Canadian doppelganger. During the encounter, the Springfield native was offered some legal reeferino.
Say, would you like to puff on a reeferino? It's legal here.
They warned me Satan would be attractive. Let's go.
While the green stuff wasn't legal in Canada at the time, it didn't take too long. Reeferino was officially given the okay across Canada in October 2018. That was nearly 14 years after the episode aired in January 2005. Number 16. The Shard.
Wow, you can see into the present.
Now we'll see what the future holds.
The writers must have really been looking into a crystal ball when they came up with Lisa's Wedding in the 90s. When they weren't dreaming up futuristic phone watches, the animators were plopping in buildings that hadn't existed yet. While Lisa is in London, viewers are given a glimpse of various famous landmarks. It was pretty normal to see Big Ben and the Tower Bridge. However, there's also a pointy skyscraper. In March 2009, work started on what would eventually become the Shard. It would ultimately become the tallest building in the entire country. Not only does the Shard bear a startling resemblance to the tower seen in The Simpsons, but it's even in the right location. Now that's just eerie.
Oh, it's good to hear a boisterous American laugh.
Number 15. Autocorrect. When Dolph wrote Beat Up Martin into his Apple Newton in 1994, the phrase hilariously turned into Eat Up Martha.
Hey, Dolph, take a memo on your Newton. Beat up Martin. Bah!
This was a joke aimed at the Apple Newton, which was notoriously bad at recognizing handwriting. But it also predicted the issues that autocorrect would bring to handheld devices. Technically, autocorrect was around by 1994 in programs like Microsoft Word. However, it wouldn't be until 2007 that autocorrect became a common and notorious problem for handheld devices. The joke actually did affect real-life development as well. Apparently, Apple developers made sure that autocorrect worked as well as it could after being lightly mocked in the episode.
Me fail English? That's impossible.
Number 14. The mass of the Higgs boson. The writers of The Simpsons are extremely smart.
Excuse me, are you a student at this school?
I think it's pretty obvious that I am. Go school!
So much so that they pretty much figured out the mass of the Higgs boson particle 14 years early. In the episode The Wizard of Evergreen Terrace, Homer becomes an inventor and writes a complicated math equation on a chalkboard. This complicated series of numbers and symbols was penned by episode writer David X. Cohen and his astronomer friend David Sheminovich. Physicist Simon Singh later claimed that Homer's equation closely correlates to the real mass of the Higgs boson particle. While the episode aired in 1997, the mass wasn't officially discovered until 2012. We guess Homer's much smarter than we thought, sometimes.
They're on hinges. That's really ingenious, Dad.
Number 13. The Roy Horn Tiger Attack. When Springfield legalizes gambling, Mr. Burns opens a casino and hires Gunter and Ernst to stage an animal show.
A round of applause, please, for Anastasia. She loves show business. So much nicer than the savagery of the jungle, yeah?
In a horrifying turn of events, they are attacked by their white tiger Anastasia. Even more horrifying is what came after. These two are modeled after Siegfried and Roy. This real-life duo formerly ran a highly popular Vegas show at the Mirage Resort and Casino. Around 10 years after the episode aired, Roy Horn was attacked by a tiger named Manticore while performing a show. He unfortunately suffered many serious injuries. While Horn survived the gruesome incident, the performer had to leave show business after the attack.
What are you gonna do? Start your own casino? In your treehouse? And get all your little friends to come? I'd like to see that!
Number 12. Lady Gaga's halftime show. As the title suggests, the 2012 Lisa Goes Gaga episode sees pop star Lady Gaga visiting Springfield and winning the young Simpsons' heart.
I just can't ignore a billboard in pain. We're stopping in Springfield.
But
no buts.
During her musical performance, the musician wears a bluish-silver outfit and flies over the crowd in a harness. The scene initially came off as a satirical love letter to Gaga's outrageous and bombastic style. However, it eventually became a reflection of real life. When Lady Gaga performed the halftime show at Super Bowl 51 in 2017, the similarities to the Springfield concert were striking. Lady Gaga wore an outfit very similar to the one seen on the animated show. Additionally, she just so happened to hover over the crowd in a harness.
What's wrong, honey?
Please, I've had enough attention for one day.
Number 11. Airplane Restaurant. Poor Homer and Marge couldn't even enjoy a nice night out.
Look, honey, I clipped on my tie all by myself.
And you look as handsome as the day we were married.
Oh, happy anniversary, Marge.
Their plans to visit the Gilded Truffle for their wedding anniversary were ruined when Grandpa failed to show up to babysit. Eventually, they're forced to skip out on the fancy restaurant and are taken to visit Up Up and Buffet. This airplane-themed restaurant simulates turbulence and serves leftovers in ARF bags. Since the episode aired in 1998, various airplanes have been converted into restaurants. These are located across the globe and serve food ranging from McDonald's to steak. Hopefully, most of these real restaurants stay stationary.
Don't get too fast!
Number 10. Nobel Prize winner Bengt Holmstrom. A 2010 Simpsons story saw Martin, Milhouse, Database, and Lisa bet on the winners of the various Nobel Prizes.
We're watching the Nobel Prize announcements live from Stockholm.
Ooh, the Nobies!
When viewers are given a brief glimpse of the betting pool, they see that Milhouse has bet on Bengt Holmstrom to win economics. But Martin won the bet by picking Jagdish Bhagwati. However, Milhouse was close. He was just 6 years off. In 2016, both Holmstrom and Oliver Hart won Nobel Prizes in economic sciences, quote, for their contributions to contract theory. While we will not try to explain what that is, we're sure Milhouse already knows. He's clearly smart enough to predict the future.
It's time for the noblest Nobel Prize of all, the Peace Prize.
I would chill for that.
Number 9. Daenerys burns King's Landing. Game of Thrones had a real stinker of an ending. So bad that it was an actual joke on The Simpsons. The Surfsons is the 29th season premiere and takes place in an alternate medieval kingdom called Springfieldia.
Water soup again?
Now it's crow soup.
The end of the episode sees Homer reviving a dragon, which proceeds to rain fire on a nearby village. Look familiar? Nearly 2 years later, Game of Thrones would feature a very similar scene when Daenerys used Drogon to raise King's Landing. This story development was heavily criticized by fans and critics alike, and it didn't take social media long to scream, "Simpsons did it!"
Look, the dragon is burning our village.
I love our life.
Number 8. Yard Work Simulator. When the Simpson family visits Colonel Tex's traveling carnival, Bart is drawn to a virtual reality game called Yard Work Simulator. Marge hilariously informs him that he can do real work like this at home.
I want to go on the yard work simulator.
But when I ask you to do yard work,
Naturally, real effort doesn't seem that appealing to Bart. But things have definitely changed since this episode aired in 1998. Modern gaming is full of simulator experiences. Through consoles, PCs, and smartphones, players can do seemingly boring chores digitally. There's even options to perform these tasks in virtual reality. While the games aren't for everyone, 90s Bart would be in heaven in the 21st century.
You chop my hands halfway off, and then I'll still have enough strength to chop.
get to work!
Number 7. Snake Clubbing. In the 4th season episode Whacking Day, the citizens of Springfield get together for an annual event in which they round up snakes and eliminate them in the town square.
In a tradition that dates back to founding father Jebediah Springfield, every May 10th local residents gather to drive snakes into the center of town and whack them to snake heaven.
This was reportedly influenced by real events called rattlesnake rodeos. Those events involve trading, releasing, and occasionally slaying the reptiles. But this episode predicted an even more violent occurrence. In 2013, the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission started the Python Challenge.
And the Lord said, "Whack ye all the serpents which crawl on their bellies, and thy town shall be a beacon unto others."
This event calls for Floridians to capture or eliminate as many Burmese pythons as possible for a $10,000 prize. In 2022, a competitor named Matthew Concepcion won by capturing 28 snakes.
Oh, whacking day, our hallowed snake skull cracking day.
Number 6. The Bloody Billboard. Itchy and Scratchy make their way onto the big screen in this episode from season 4.
You'll find it in the Itchy and Scratchy movie, coming soon to a theater near you. 53% new footage.
Wow.
In order to promote their movie, the studio puts out a disgusting interactive billboard. It mainly dumps a red blood-like substance onto passers-by and into their cars. A slight variation on this theme actually played out in 2008 in New Zealand. Back then, the state-owned TVNZ2 was promoting the television debut of Quentin Tarantino's Kill Bill Volume 1.
It was the greatest movie I've ever seen in my life! And you wouldn't believe the celebrities who did cameos. Dustin Hoffman, Michael Jackson.
A giant billboard was erected in Auckland that saw a giant stream of blood spraying onto nearby prop cars. Luckily, no one in the vicinity reported that they were slathered in the liquid. The same cannot be said for the poor citizens of Springfield. Number 5. The Censoring of David. Few marble sculptures are as popular as Michelangelo's David.
Get dressed, Marge. You've got to lead our protest against this abomination.
But that's Michelangelo's David. It's a masterpiece.
It's filth.
In the 2nd season episode Itchy and Scratchy and Marge, David goes on a tour throughout the eastern United States and stops in Springfield. Some people take umbrage with the statue's nudity and attempt to censor it. There are people who even went so far as to cover it with a pair of jeans. With this gag, The Simpsons was both satirizing the past and predicting the future. Various campaigns have attempted to cover up David since the episode aired. Incidents have arisen in 2001, 2014, and 2016. It's unknown whether more campaigns to conceal the statue's natural form will pop up in the future.
I told you she was soft on full frontal nudity.
Number 4. Gym mat food. After Principal Skinner makes some massive budget cuts at the school, the kids get really shoddy lunches.
You've cut back on everything. Salaries, supplies, the food. I don't care what you say, I can taste the newspaper.
The educator and the cafeteria staff even colluded to use shredded newspapers and gym mats as cheap food filler. In 2014, the public learned that many major fast food chains were using azodicarbonamide in their bread. This compound is used as an oxidizing agent with flour. It's also used to make vinyl foam. Ironically, that is what gym and yoga mats are made of. So, in an indirect way, real restaurants were taking a page out of Skinner's playbook. Fortunately, bad publicity caused many of these restaurants to drop azodicarbonamide as an ingredient.
There's very little meat in these gym mats.
Number 3. Grease thefts. Is there anything that people won't steal? In Lard of the Dance, Homer and Bart conspire to sell grease for a profit. Upon realizing that everyday bacon grease won't do the trick, the duo starts stealing grease from the school and Krusty Burger.
Okay, boy, this is where all the hard work, sacrifice, and painful scaldings pay off.
The latter attempt even gets them in trouble with the mafia-like Acme Grease and Shovel Company. America saw a spate of grease thefts throughout 2012 when the price of used cooking oil skyrocketed. In one instance, 2 thieves stole grease from a McDonald's. Honestly, we do have to wonder if the real thieves got the idea from watching The Simpsons.
This better work, boy. I don't want to wind up working on your mother's emu farm.
Number 2. Blinky the Three-Eyed Fish. The Simpsons finds a source of humor in many things, including nuclear runoff. At the start of this second season episode, Bart catches a three-eyed fish that is named Blinky by the media.
Wait a minute. 1, 2, 3.
The deformed fish was caught near a nuclear power plant that is found to have 342 safety violations worth over $50 million.
Oh. I suppose that's normal background radiation, the kind you'd find in any well-maintained nuclear facility.
This remained a silly joke until 2011. During that year, fishermen in Cordoba, Argentina caught a three-eyed wolffish. Sure enough, the lake was used as a dumping ground for a nuclear power plant facility's hot water. We wouldn't recommend making a fillet out of that catch. Number 1. President Trump. Like Lisa's wedding, Bart to the Future depicts, well, the future. While Bart lives as an aspiring rock star, Lisa is President of the United States. She inherits a massive financial problem that was caused by the last president, real estate mogul Donald Trump.
As you know, we've inherited quite a budget crunch from President Trump. How bad is it, Secretary Van Houten?
This episode was produced during his presidential campaign of 2000, when his victory seemed extremely unlikely. However, it stopped being a joke when Trump was declared the 45th president of the United States. The first episode following the announcement contained a chalkboard gag that read, quote, "Being right sucks." This drawing showed that the writers are not always happy about what they predict.
If I'm gonna bail the country out, I'll have to raise taxes. But in my speech, I'd like to avoid calling it a painful emergency tax.